Chicago. Welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download that app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Okay, Lawrence, there was like some sort of error message on here, and then you said, "Oh," so I thought that meant like.
Well, I mean, we're live though. That's
mission had failed. Abort
No, we're live.
mission.
So we had to start over.
No, things are live. Things are, they're very fluid in this world.
Well,
Live
a
and spectacular.
great start for our new time, 3 p.m., where obviously
Yeah, I mean, you'd think
we
I'd
need
be-
our afternoon coffee.
You'd think I'd be ready by 3 o'clock, but apparently.
Thanks to everyone joining us
No.
for finding us 4 hours later. It worked out pretty well because it was a busy morning at CHGO. Kevin Warren hired as the Chicago Bears next team president CEO. We did an emergency pod.
Yeah, I
Go
did that.
check that out.
I did that.
Good job, Lawrence. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Kevin Kaduk, KC Standahar, Luke Stuckmeyer, and our guy on the board, Lawrence Benedetto.
Failing miserably.
Today's show is a good one. We're going to wrap up the 2022 Chicago Bears season, which I don't know if we need to put a bow on it, but it feels like we're going to get heavy on the draft here soon.
We're going to put a bow on it for like the next week. That's how excited we still are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a bow like you put on the trash bag before you send it.
I was
going
gonna say, do you put a bow on your garbage?
Yeah, I do.
do?
Not double tie it.
Yeah.
Throw it in the old trash
I
rooney.
don't tie
Hope
my
the
garbage.
raccoons. Oh, really?
Should I?
I mean, I guess raccoons just
You just
swipe
leave it out
away,
in the
but
open,
I
you just
feel
leave
like
it
Don't you have a bin?
the smaller the opening is.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Don't you
It
have
goes
the
in the
plastic
bin.
bins anymore?
It goes in the bin.
Yeah.
Why do I need to?
Well,
It cinches up. I don't know why we're talking about this.
well, because we're talking about the Bears.
See,
so it all
see
makes
what
sense.
we've done at 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah, things
Bears.
are
Look, there's also
Refuse.
14. There's also 14 teams still in the playoffs. We're going to go through and kind of decide who's rooting for what you can stomach. I don't think anyone's that jazzed about these teams because they are not the Chicago Bears, but we'll see. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Get those notifications when we do go live. We'd also love it if you hit up your favorite podcast provider like Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leave us a 5-star review. That's super important. Also, before we get started, I want to wish a happy 44th birthday to Marian Hossa, the second greatest Slovak of all time.
Second
guy.
greatest.
I'm going to wish a happy 70th birthday to the first greatest Slovak of all time, my father, Ken Kaduk.
Oh, happy birthday. Who's number 3?
Happy
Marian
birthday,
Gaborik?
Probably Zdeno Chara
Zdeno Chara, yeah.
or my grandfather.
Or your grandfather.
Not you. Where do you
I'm a little
stack
watered
up on
down in the
list?
Slovak. I mean, I'm 25% Slovak, so I don't know if I can fully claim
No,
that.
yeah, you can't.
All right, let's get into it. Let's
Happy birthday.
take care of business and get down to business by presenting this week's Taking Care of Business Award winner. And it goes to who else but our guy, our former friend, our
Lovey,
current friend, Lovey Smith,
Lovey.
who gift-wrapped the number 1 pick in the NFL draft for his current team by managing that miracle comeback. I don't know if he really did anything. I don't know how much he did, but I appreciate the effort the Houston Texans put out there in Indianapolis in that 32-31 win. And it's hard to remember that sort of excitement that was going on.
You remember when that famous picture of Ditka flipping the bird at Soldier Field?
Yeah.
I don't know that Lovey Smith would flip the bird, but this seemed to be his way of flipping the bird
It's
to
virtual, subtle bird.
Texans ownership.
Yeah, I agree.
You want me out? I'm out. Take the number 2 pick. I'm going for it.
Why wouldn't
2-point
you?
conversion.
Well, why not? He already knew he was going to get fired, right?
We talked about it. We talked about it last week. Like, he actually managed the Buccaneers to the number 1 pick to get Jameis Winston in 2014 and then ended up getting fired, I think, a year later. Or I can't remember.
No, it was that offseason.
It was that offseason.
Yeah.
They said, okay, you got the
think
number
so.
1 pick. We're going to bring in Dirk Cutter, who also did nothing there.
Yeah.
So why would Lovey Smith help the Houston Texans get a number 1 pick? And he said, you know what? I'm going to help the Chicago Bears out.
Once a Bear, always a Bear, my friend.
Now, would you bring him back as defensive coordinator next year?
I don't think the Bears would. I
Why
think
not?
Lovey would be a good defensive coordinator somewhere? Yes.
I mean, that's how he
Yes.
got into Houston.
Yeah. I think some guys, don't get me wrong, I think Lovey was a good head coach and was good for the Bears. Did the time run out? Yes, but Do I think he's maybe a better defensive coordinator? That is possible. Wade Phillips was a better defensive coordinator than he was a head coach.
Yeah. Well, Matt Eberflus runs the cover 2, runs a version of it.
That wouldn't hurt.
That's Lovey's defense. It'd be kind of interesting. I don't know.
I guarantee the Lance Briggs of the world and those guys would all be for it.
Lance and Peanut coming out of retirement to come play for Lovey.
Corey Wooten wants it.
Corey Wooten would be in favor of that. Also, shout out to Lawrence for doing the Clay Lovey, which now sits on our set.
Yeah.
Can you
Did
see
you
him?
really make that?
Yeah, of course I made that.
He sculpted it. Look at how cute it is.
So talented.
I know.
I know.
Just when you think you've reached the top of what Lawrence can do for us, all of a sudden he makes a
I mean,
claymation.
I can't
Lovey
start a
Smith.
show correctly, but I mean, I could do some modeling clay.
For
I
a
guess.
little Lovey statue. How long will he last, do you think? Forever?
I mean, yeah, he's forever, man. He's
yeah, but like, do you think it'll stay?
Could we put him in a, like, what is that called? Like kiln?
Kiln, yeah, bake him.
Sure. I don't.
Yeah, we need to like.
Would that like change the coloring?
Because I feel like he might melt in the summer in here because it gets hella hot.
Once
That's
the air
right.
conditioning goes
yeah,
out again.
if you leave it here, you don't need the oven. Stay here for the summer.
One day we'll come in a Lovey, we'll just be a pile. A little
Let's hope
ploop,
not. We don't want that to happen.
Like a snowman. Aww.
Lovey.
I mean, yeah. So that there he is, but like, I just like that everyone thought he was gigantic. Like I made something the size of an actual
in that
person's
photo, he
head.
looks large. His head is large.
I thought that was like a Mr. Potato Head
he looks like this
scale.
big.
There's no other way to describe that other than brilliant.
Thank you. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I mean, someone on the
Angles.
internet said this is art, and I was like, sure, yeah, I'll take that. I think that might have been Nicholas Moriano. Someone else
Art
did
is
too,
in the
though.
eye of the beholder, Lawrence.
We could sell that.
Yeah, I mean,
We
you
should-
probably
we should
could if you
auction
want.
it off.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh my God, we should auction it off.
Do it.
Giveaway. Social media giveaway.
Took me 75 hours.
People will go crazy to win
Let's
little
boost
baby
that,
Lovey.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually,
someone wanted it made,
like
right? Didn't
Baby
they
Yoda.
want
The
it
Duke
out-
would probably pay you like $2,000.
Let's
for
go,
that.
the Duke.
Grogu. It's not Grogu, but it is
I-
Baby
Supplement your
Lovey.
income, Lawrence.
I will take commissions. Just DM me.
I'm just trying to think like who would commission you like and to do what.
I mean, clearly I can do anything. I mean, look at my Lovey Smith. I did in 20
I do
minutes.
think we should give it away, but I feel like you'd be sad.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
It's
Maybe
that
a little.
Randblatt guy does all the statues. Like he did the Jordan
Mm.
statue. He's done the Peyton statue. Look out, Randblatt. We're coming.
Randblatt?
Something. It's some. I've interviewed him before. Something. I think it's like Randblatt. It's the same artist does almost every statue you have in Chicago sports.
Okay. Okay.
It's a good little niche.
Same person commissioned. Somebody out in the suburbs. So listen, Law. After seeing that,
Who deserves the next
I'm
statue
here
in
for it.
side biz.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Chicago?
Me.
The 2016 champions, and you probably
Yeah, the Cubs.
have the a multiple Rizzo.
I think that's the
That
right
Rizzo
moment.
Bryant.
Where they all piled on each other.
Yep. Or the pylon, either way. But I think you do the Rizzo Bryant.
The White Sox are pretty free with their statues, so I feel like the next one is probably a Jose Abreu one.
Do they have a Harold Baines one yet?
They do. That one's awesome. It's like his front knee high up, with this batting stance.
I love
It-
the
it-
Frank Thomas and the
Do they have a
outfield.
Canerco?
They have a Canerco.
Oh, well,
that's
then AJ's the
Grand Slam
next one.
AJ.
Just punching Barrett. Oh, wait, he got punched. Sorry. That'd be a good one, though.
All right, let's take one more walk down memory lane with the 2022
Let's do that.
Chicago Bears. What was your favorite game, Luke? and
Absolutely the
Casey?
first one in the rain.
I agree.
That's the only unforgettable game of the entire
It
season.
was so memorable. They came out with a bang. The slide in the water.
It's like the Fog Bowl, right? You're never going to
Yeah.
forget it.
Yeah.
100% the most exciting and fun game was the first one.
And that's what
you
Justin
didn't know what
Fields
to expect. Yeah.
said was his favorite too.
Yeah.
The
for
energy
sure.
was there. He said it felt like a movie. So it's hard
We
to
sold a
top
lot
that.
of T-shirts that day.
That
Yeah.
said, I'm glad I wasn't there in person.
No, me too.
I'm glad we didn't have a tailgate scheduled for
Yeah,
that
it was
day.
my favorite
Yeah.
one to watch on television.
It took a little while for us to get our tailgate scenario set
Mm-hmm.
up. We had to skip week one. And had we actually had all our ducks in a row, it would have been an abject disaster because it was an absolute monsoon on the lakefront.
Can you imagine?
Thank God.
Was that your favorite game too?
It was not.
What's yours?
See, I think people kind of remember it was an ugly game for a while. I mean, it was pretty ugly.
Yeah. Hideous.
We forgot when the end happened.
Every game was
Yeah.
ugly.
I kind of like that Dolphins game, and I know it was a loss, But it was we saw signs of it in the Minnesota game, the Patriots win, and then the Cowboys loss. We saw Justin Fields kind of coming together, but in that game against the Dolphins, I think I kind of remember sitting over there watching the game with everyone, and Hogue Hogue is kind of the pope of Bearsdom right now, and him saying, I think we have a quarterback. And when I heard him say that, I mean, I trust Adam when he says.
And then the
things.
smoke came out of the top of the building.
It did, yes, the Kielbasa smoke. To me, that was just cool. I mean, it was punch for punch, and it sucked that they weren't able to pull it out. And now it's a good thing that they didn't. But I think that Dolphins game combined with the Lions game the following week was just a lot of fun because it was this realization that we did have a quarterback, and it also saved the season because we were down in the dumps there for a while. And I remember sitting on set the Monday after the Texans win on September 25th, and it was pretty funereal on here, and thinking, oh, this is going to be a slog. I mean,
that
team
day
was
was
terrible.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was super weird.
That was like they won the game, but it was just funereal is a good word.
And then
for it.
the following week was the Giants, and that was a disaster.
Thanks, Velas.
And then the second half against the Vikings, things trended up a little bit more. So,
But when we talked about that 49ers game and I picked it as my favorite game, it was because of
the optics.
Yeah, the optics, the way it looked on television, the rain, it was fun. You thought back to the times as a kid where the street would flood or your yard had too much water and you run out or snow or whatever it might be. And so it takes you back to your childhood. Had the Bears not been able to get the number one pick, then I would have had to change my selection because I would have thought back to that game and be like, why
did you win?
Why did that rain cost us the number one pick? Because there's no other scenario in which the Bears beat the 49ers.
That game cost the 49ers a first-round bye. That Patriots win cost the Patriots a spot in the playoffs.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, realistically, you could take any of the 10 straight losses and make that your favorite game of the season because now they have the number one pick, and they weren't going anywhere without 10 straight.
Okay, well, let's get into the worst game because there were 14 losses, and some of them were worse than others. I think 7 of them were by one score. 14 losses.
Oh, God,
Luke,
they were bad.
Casey, when we approached you for jobs last February or March, and I said, okay, look, you can have a job here, but I looked into the crystal ball, and the Bears went 3-14. Are you sure you want to work in Chicago sports?
I would have still taken it.
And I'd say, well, don't worry because the Cubs and Sox are going to be good.
Yeah. Then
Yeah, the Sox are definitely a playoff team, if not a World Series winner.
And the Bulls are on the up and up.
Yeah, it's all happening. It's all
gonna happen.
happening.
We're good with that.
Jake
slogan.
Harrington says week 1 is my favorite, but beating the crap out of the Pats was fun too. That is right because that came out after the mini bye and
Mini bye.
and this goes into worst game. My worst game was that Washington loss on Thursday night. They had no business losing that game. Washington was terrible. Carson Wentz was terrible, except for when he depleted Roquan Smith somehow on that block.
He's large.
Darnell Mooney drops a pass on 4th and goal. And we're sitting here. We
yeah.
did the live show, Casey. You remember being here for that? That was bad news.
all
There's
of
a lot of
those
bad.
nights kind of like blend together for me.
Yeah, but that one was we were on set the whole game
Is
watching
that when we were
awful
just sitting
game.
on set and that's
Yeah.
when Cody was like, effing touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a bear sighting.
I remember there was a bear. We tried to make it as fun as we could.
Honestly, though, they do all blend together. I know I'm older, and that's what my mind does, just kind of melt stuff together.
Like oatmeal, your mind.
Yeah. It's like a computer condensing all of its information.
Oh, wow, that's a good reference for an old man.
Thank you.
Thought you would have said
What do they call
Atari.
it? Saving your RAM? Condensing it? Remember you...
Sure. Yeah, your
Something
firmware,
like
your
that.
hardware.
Anyways, they all do blend together. It was just like, yep, they lost that one.
Something
And
about
they-
a floppy
Yep,
disk.
that was a loss, too.
Yep.
Then there was another one the week after that.
So what was your least favorite or worst loss?
Worst game of the season, I would say the Lions game, because at the end of the season,
New Year's Day.
yeah, because it meant getting Fields hurt, which at least he's not seriously hurt. But it was just hideous. I mean, the Lions were doing whatever they wanted to with the Bears defense. It was embarrassing because it was the Lions. And I know the Lions this year weren't the Lions of the past. They're a decent team, but they're still the Lions, and they'll always be the Lions to me. And so to watch them just slaughter and bludgeon the Bears was just – I mean, you always assume you're going to get one win against the Lions. Mm-hmm. So to watch that was pretty tough.
For me, the worst game was the second game of the season against Green Bay because I was in Milwaukee at a wedding, and we watched the game at like a bar.
Yeah.
And I think after game one, I had really high hopes, and obviously those were all shattered. But I think that was just disappointing to see them kind of start to fall apart, and you were like, oh no, we really are the same team still.
Yeah. And I had high hopes for the second Packers game because Packers obviously had a down season. And I thought, okay, well, maybe if this is Aaron Rodgers' last trip to Soldier Field, we could get one over him. And I was conflicted because at that point we were clearly tanking for draft position, and I still wanted that win.
You were very upset.
I was upset.
I'd say the worst moment of the season was Aaron Rodgers giving the salute to the fans up yours.
I didn't like the Lions' loss because I think it just changed the narrative on Justin Fields slightly in a way that I don't think that he deserves. I think there was questions after that. I mean, he did not have a good game by any means, but I think you kind of saw a lot of that faction of the Bears fan base that is really quick to pounce on any quarterback. I mean, they really used that opening. It just went open like this, and that entire faction just stormed in. And I don't think, I'm all here for the talk about what to do with the number one pick. I'm here for every hypothetical. Look, it's going to do great for our numbers, and I think I think there are worthwhile discussions to have there. I don't think when we're talking about, okay, would you trade the pick? Would you trade Justin Fields if you're in love with Bryce Young? I don't think Bryce Young is that player. I don't think he warrants and sets that conversation. But I think it would be an interesting conversation if it was a guy who was clearly a generational prospect.
I don't think anyone in this class is that
absolutely
is that guy.
not. No.
So we're good.
Let me put it this way. If it was, and I'm just throwing it out there saying he's going to be the next great thing. If it was Arch Manning, now I might reconsider things, okay?
Just because of the last name?
But I believe Justin Fields would be the number one pick, clearly, in this draft.
Oh, absolutely.
Number one pick for sure. The only reason you wouldn't go that way is if you were trying to reset the clock a couple more years to get your job extended a few more years in case things go wrong.
It's going to be interesting to watch this draft unfold because some of the guys we're seeing mentioned at the top of the draft, we're already seeing it with Jalen Carter, where everyone thought Jalen Carter's like a top 4 pick. Well, now people are already casting doubt on him, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, okay, we're going to sit here. We're going to watch Jalen Carter fall like maybe Justin Fields did. Because coming into that draft, it was Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Then everyone talked themselves into Zach Wilson. Thank you, New York Jets. And then Trey Lance also
and
kind
49ers.
of made a big play coming up, right?
Yeah.
So that part's going to be interesting. What if Trevor Lawrence was available in this draft?
No, I said on this podcast maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. What did he go on a run of like 5 straight games? So it was about a month ago, maybe 5-6 weeks. I said, if you were to go back and look at that draft right now, I guarantee, because that was at like the peak of like Fields starting to really skyrocket. And at that point, the Jags were not good and were not playoff bound, and he was nothing special. Now he's turned his narrative around too, but at that time I said everybody in Jacksonville right now, if they could redo that draft, would take Justin Fields. If you would have offered them a 1-to-1 swap right there,
at that point,
they would have taken it. They would have taken it. I don't know if they would now, but at that point in the season, I believe everybody in Jacksonville would have said, yeah, let's do it.
It underscores, like, obviously the NFL right now, covering the NFL is a 24/7, 365 business, and you have to have something to talk about every day. But to write off Trevor Lawrence after the first half of the season is silly. To write off Justin Fields after, a season, silly, right? These things take time. Now, I guess you could feel free to write off Zach Wilson, but whatever.
Yeah.
Our guy Braggs is checking in. He says between the QB1 slide win week 1, the breaking trade news shows, Justin Fields' breakout stretch, and the final week getting the number 1 pick, it was the most entertaining 3-win season you could have.
It
Yes.
was.
Well, that's,
It was
we-
a dynamic
it was
season.
the most entertaining 3-win season you could have. That's what we shoot for these days. Listen, I was rooting for losses all season. There was all you wanted this season, Justin Fields to show you he's a quarterback. I think you've seen it. Justin Fields show you maybe star quarterback. I think you've seen it. And then get a good draft pick.
Yep.
What else could you ask for?
But
I'm a little worried they stole the number 1 pick Juju from the Blackhawks. But
Yeah.
Oh, Bedard.
yeah,
I think the
Gonna cost him
Blackhawks will
Bedard.
be fine.
No, that can still happen.
it could still happen. I'm just
I
saying,
know.
like the luck.
I guess I just worry about, I know everyone's worried about this. How long can Justin Fields play like Justin Fields and not get injured?
Well, that's build the offensive line with start
Yeah.
right now.
Like how his longevity as a quarterback.
They need a receiver. Yes, they need a number 1 wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins, whoever, I don't care who you're talking about. Adams get him from the Raiders in a trade, sure, whatever. The number 1 thing they have to do to help him is get him 4 new offensive
Right.
linemen.
Yeah. The Raiders, I mean, the Raiders are the Raiders, and they do dumb and silly things. Could we
I'd
get
be
them
all-
to trade an entire draft in Devontae Adams
I'd take Devontae Adams in a heartbeat.
and the entire draft, right? Like, let's get
Yeah.
like, you know, what Mike Ditka traded up to the number 4, number 5 pick to get Ricky Williams. Let's do it.
I mean, that'd be, yeah, I would. I
I'd
guess
like
that's
Devontae
good.
Adams.
That's
But
tough,
who was
though.
who was the big receiver? Somebody went for like a 5th round pick. One of the bigger receivers. Was it Cooper?
Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, one of those two.
I think it was Amari Cooper went for like a
Yeah.
5th round pick. So I don't think you'd have to give up something insane for Devontae Adams. Now, if I had to give up he just gave up a 2nd round pick for Claypool.
Whoops.
Wish we had that because it's really like a 1st round pick now. Then trade that for Devontae. You get Devontae Adams for that pick. That's a different story.
Yeah. Chase Claypool has got a lot of expectations on him. I mean, he could be up
Huge.
there with the names like Bartman.
Okay,
and,
let's not.
No, I really think so.
Why?
Bartman? Come
I mean,
on.
not like
I'm
that
not
level,
gonna
but
Give
compare
like
him.
Chase
Bart-
Claypool a
poor Bartman.
break. He may have been.
Cody Parkey.
No.
If he does not work out, if he turns into a head case,
Do you think
People
he's
are gonna
going
be
to turn
mad.
into a head case?
I don't know. He's already yelling at people on the.
Like Antonio Brown head case?
No, oh, let's not go that far. But that's a special level of head
He'd
case.
be more on the Cade McNown level,
Yeah.
right? Spent a lot to get him, and he turned out
don't
to
think
be.
it's going to happen.
Best play. What was your favorite play of the season?
The slide. I mean, that, right?
I mean, that wasn't a play.
We all saw it.
Yeah.
We all witnessed it. You know what I mean? Like, for me, that's if you ever remember one moment from
It's on
the
a-
entire season,
it's on a
it would
t-shirt.
be Fields' run. It would runs by Fields, but that would be the one.
Yeah. To me, it was the run against the Lions in the first game. He threw the interception for the Lions to tie the game. Came right back,
Yeah.
rips off a 56-yard run takes it to the house. I was actually in Florida, and I was like watching it on my phone. I'm just going crazy. Because again, that's like this dude is for real. He is
Yeah.
him. HYM.
HYM?
HYM. H1M.
1M.
Nice
What's
try,
that?
though.
What's that show? What's that?
How I Met Your Mother?
No, what's the value clothing store? H&M.
H&M. Yeah.
Ampersand.
There's no Y in there.
There's no why.
I liked his rushing touchdown on 3rd and 6 against the Dolphins.
Which one was that?
That was another like 50-yarder, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forget how much he ran for, but he was doing like the feed me thing after.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good.
don't
I
know.
mean, Justin Fields is every great play that happened this season.
No, Cole Kmet was involved in some of them.
Yeah, but they still involve Justin Fields.
Yeah.
There were no Trevor Siemian to
An underrated
Cole Kmet.
one is because they lost to Washington was that run he had against the Commanders that put him in striking distance to win that game, and then it didn't matter. But he had a crazy run. There was that run in the first half of that Lions game where the guy had him down and he just skirted out and just
The
ran
Deshaun
over the
Elliott
dude.
one?
At the,
Yeah.
By the way, Lawrence, you did a great job putting together.
Oh, yeah.
Nick asked Bears teammates what the best Justin Fields moment was, and people gave a whole bunch of different answers, and Lawrence put it together in a nice little package. So
Yeah, the internet didn't agree, but people
well,
seem to
it
watch
picked
that.
up a little bit.
Oh, okay,
It picked
good.
up.
All right.
Don't worry.
Braggs is saying the Brisker interception versus the Patriots after Mac Jones kicked him in the was good.
Was good. See, Braggs, I was just going to say, like, if you built a top 10 plays of the season from the Chicago Bears, just off the top of my head, I would suggest that they were all Justin Fields plays. I cannot think of one. There's one on defense that was nice. But is it better than maybe if it's top 5 plays of the season, there's no way they aren't all Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Confirmed.
Yeah, Jaquan Brisker does not make that. Sorry, Braggs. Worst play of the season.
That's easy.
What?
Justin not touching down Micah Parsons in Dallas
That's a good one.
and leaping over him. Cool picture I got out of it, but
Amir Smith-Marset getting the ball
right,
ripped
that's-
away from
yeah,
him
that's
against the
worse.
Vikings.
yeah, Valus.
Valus
Like,
Jones
I was going to
Jr.
say a
just
Valus Jones.
All right,
being an
fine.
absolute
Any
embarrassment.
fumble.
I mean,
I just wanted to
losing
keep the Justin Fields things going.
The
Okay.
strip play on the sidelines is a big one. But again, they might have won that game, and we don't want that result. So
Cairo Santos mixed extra point against the Lions.
I don't have a worse. I don't know.
They're all terrible.
I wish this wasn't. I wish this wasn't worst play, and it was worst player.
Well, we have that too. Who was the worst player?
Well, I just have to give it to the O-line. I can't give it to one guy. It was like watching a bullfighter. Just whoosh. Anybody wants to get to Justin Fields, have at it. He almost didn't make it through the season
I always loved,
on his feet.
you'd see these tweets. Pro Football Focus actually grades out the Bears line to be pretty good. It's
Come
like, yeah,
on.
because Justin Fields was running around at
Yeah.
a mile every time.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's a
Calling
here's a
Trevor
good one for
Siemian.
worst play. The Luke Getsy play call in Atlanta after Justin was already
oh yeah,
Injured?
where he got hurt. Yeah,
and they like ran him to the sideline on with a minute to go or whatever. That was dumb.
Bragg says Mooney dropped versus Commanders. That was a horrible play.
And speaking of bad play calling, after Justin's long run in Detroit, when they decided to run power QB power
right.
after he was clearly out of gas and injured.
Can I pick Jim Harbaugh's 4th and goal double lateral against TCU? Is that possible?
No.
Okay, just checking. That was the dumbest play call I've
He
ever
did play
seen.
for the Bears, so I don't
Yeah,
know if
it's
that-
gotta
that
count for
qualifies.
something.
All right, best individual season, non-Justin Fields division.
Cole Kmet, hands
Yeah,
down.
I was gonna
I think
say
that's
Komet.
right.
He
Led the team
surprised
in
me.
receptions, right? Reception yards, receiving. He had no touchdowns last year, 7 this year.
That was nice.
Like anybody other than Justin Fields, you looked at and say, this guy made serious progress. Cole Kmet has to be that guy.
I echo the same thoughts.
I think Tevin Jenkins is on that list if he stays healthy, but I mean, he had a great season switching to guard.
But he also
but-
got hurt 3 times.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Tevin Jenkins,
If
Okay.
he stays
You're not going to
healthy.
say Sanborn?
Jack Sanborn's up there.
Sanborn.
I'm not the biggest. I mean, I'm not as big of a Jack Sanborn fan as
Carm.
Hogue and Carm are, but that's just because they're so high up there. I feel like if I get on the Sanborn hype, I feel like I'm being a copycat.
I mean,
Okay.
Cole Kmet, you realize he's played every game in his career? It's pretty good.
Braxton Jones, every snap as a rookie.
For
I mean,
5th rounder.
That's pretty damn good, right?
Although I think we keep saying our expectations about him because it was he was a 5th round pick. That great, nice 5th round pick. But if I think of guys that'll be part of the next great Bears team, Cole Kmet has a chance to be a much bigger part of that than Braxton Jones does.
Really
he might be a
Bless
role
you.
guy on the line, which is okay.
right.
They could replace him. They should replace him potentially this offseason. Make him a backup.
You saw the stat that Ryan Poles mentioned at his press conference 2 days ago. The Bears had led the league in rookie snaps, and they had 1,000 more than the second closest team.
Wow.
So if you want to know why they have the number 1 pick, there's a good example, and it shines a lot of hope for the future. So
Sorry for sneezing on air. It's never happened.
yeah,
Ever.
that's there's no cough button here.
No.
You just have to.
I just felt it coming and I looked at you and I was
Just have
like,
to stick your face down your shirt and sneeze.
can't really get up and run away.
That's fine.
All right.
Anyway, continue.
Worst individual season?
I think Valus is on that list.
Bayless has to. because of the expectation of using the draft pick that high and what he was, and then basically you had people saying, just end it. Done with this experiment.
Yeah.
A lot of people questioned the pick going into it, saying he was never that guy in college in the first place. Like, he was never a multiple route guy. He was never a great route runner. And he was older, right?
Sure.
So far they look right.
I'm sad that Roquan left. I pick him.
He
for
qualifies for worst individual season.
because he left. He disappointed me.
Trade demands and training camp and talked his way out.
Yeah.
I'm for it. Our guy Matt Nagy checks in and says Matt Eberflus had the worst individual season. Worst coach in the history of the organization, he says. True
Matt.
Patriot Tommy says Mustipher, no doubt. He is a liability. I think Mustipher is definitely a guy who is not part of the next Great Bears team. I'm gonna say Travis Gibson, and I don't know if he had the worst overall, but I think maybe most disappointing. I think he had a really great opportunity there in the absence of Khalil Mack to really make some noise and maybe become the next great edge rusher. I don't know, a good edge rusher, and I know that's a lot to expect from a 5th round pick in the 2020 draft, but seeing what we saw from him the first 2 seasons, I don't think it was unreasonable to see a jump, and we didn't see that. So, Travis, let's see some more next year and earn out that contract.
Agreed.
All right.
Our next partner, by the way, guys, I don't know if you heard about this stuff, AG1. Have you heard of it?
No,
I may have talked about it
Explain.
before. I hope you've heard me say this before. I take this every single day. I started taking AG1 because I didn't have time, wanted better gut health, more energy, and an optimized immune system. Now I've been on it for 9 months, and boy, do I love it. It tastes just spectacular. A little mild, fruity, tropical taste. It doesn't taste super healthy. It's got that mild tropical taste, and it is super healthy. Here's what you get. 1 scoop of AG1, you absorb 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to start your day right. A special blend of ingredients supporting your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of those things. I get a boost of energy from it, so I take it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and it's lifestyle-friendly too. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, you're all good with AG1, and you're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance for less than $3 a day. Recommended by professional athletes, more than 7,000 5-star reviews. Right now, reclaim your health, arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. You don't need a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Cubs or CHGO Bears, CHGO Bulls. Again, athleticgreens.com/CHGO Cubs to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
I want to tell everyone about Game Time. Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. If you've ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could, like the 50-yard line, courtside, behind home plate, it is possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy, and you will not find a better deal all season. Our guy Will DeWitt got seats like 11th row for Texans Colts, and he was there to watch Levy pull that off. So
Good stuff.
yeah, Game Time is created by the fans, for the fans, and guarantees the lowest price. If you love CHGO, then you will love Game Time, and the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in any description on any CHGO show, not only on YouTube, but if you're out there in the parking lot and you're about ready to buy the tickets, go to the podcast description, go to YouTube, and do that. It will really help us out. We appreciate it. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all of your favorite events. All right, it's about that time.
Oh, it is? I'm just showing
Oh,
off the
no.
Game Time app.
What are you doing? Looking at
I'm just looking at the Game
Blackhawks
Time.
tickets?
Yeah, I was just checking for tonight.
I'm looking
You
for
know.
the scroll stoppers.
I know, but it's 100 level, $73.
You could go to the
Or,
game.
you know.
Kev, you've been wanting to go to a game.
Avalanche
Yeah.
Hawks.
Let's
Yeah.
go. All right, fine. We'll do this.
Fine. Don't sound so excited, Lawrence.
I'm very excited. We're stopping scrolls.
Scroll stoppers. We love the music.
Yeah.
So much fun. You guys, it's really hard to deny that the biggest news of this week on social media and just in general was the Bears getting that number 1 overall pick in the draft. So we're going to lead in with our CHGO clip of the week because this is the guys' reaction right before we started the show on Sunday when the Houston Texans beat the Colts. And this was their reaction to knowing, hey, we're getting the number 1 pick now.
It wasn't actually
was
before
it
the
the-
show. It was literally the start of the show.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
beginning
This
of our
is like-
show.
We're
Hard
going
on.
on the air. And,
Pardon me.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, there's the number 1 flag.
Amazing camera work.
Yes,
who
by
did that?
Kevin, in charge of the camera. Hashtag Let's Go Brick Juice.
I'm scared right now. Wait, hold on. There's still time. Come on.
Brick
Still got 50 seconds. Well,
He said, "Let's go Brick Juice."
I don't know what Carm is doing here. This is getting weird.
Braggs is in the background hugging Staley for like a
I
solid
can't be
minute.
sure. I'm not sure if there was a pelvic thrust by Braggs on Staley back there.
Yeah, he was just hugging him. He was just so.
I have to call HR.
I also love that Braggs was so fired up that Carm is left hanging with a high five for like
Yeah.
4 or 5 awkward seconds. He's just waiting for a high five. Braggs is going so crazy he's not getting it.
So many things happen in that video. Like I run in with the one flag or the one balloon, and then I run back out, and then Bragg screams like a woman, literally, that just screeches. With high
Yeah, but the
pitch.
flex was where he got it.
He said he told me after he didn't even realize that he screamed like that.
Braggs screamed like he just saw like Freddy Krueger.
And yelled brick juice.
Let's go. Brick Juice.
The other underrated thing is I love Corey's reaction. Once a Bear, always a Bear.
Yeah.
And he just goes nuts. And I actually watched NBC Sports Chicago, and Lance Briggs had a similar reaction, which was pretty cool. So
They all love Lovey too.
they do love Lovey.
Yeah, just genuine excitement. That was really fun. And to kind of add on to that, another fun reaction at the good folks at Soldier Field watching the game. This was probably louder than that stadium has been so far this year, honestly. Take a look.
Yeah, probably.
Everyone lost their mind. I love it. I love it.
Happy humans.
See, we just went through the whole thing. Best play of the Bears season. It was not the slide. It was the 2-point
Houston- yeah, the
conversion
Colts.
by another team in another game. That was the play of the year for the Bears.
I mean, for so long, we weren't even number 1 at being the worst, even though we were a bad team. So to be
Right.
number 1 at something is worth celebrating.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
My guy Ravi in the chat today
Yeah, Robbie's here.
What do you
What's
say?
up, Ravi?
just yelled my name.
Oh, nice.
Luke.
All right, another scroll-stopping moment. Ben Pope tweeted this.
Thanks,
Blackhawks
Tommy.
goalie Peter Mrazek is close friends with the legendary former Chelsea goalkeeper, also named Peter Cech. And Cech now plays second division hockey in England. He's 40 years old. And so this was fun. They played soccer in Chicago all together. And then they also played hockey because apparently now he's playing ice hockey. So it's kind of cool to see some of our Blackhawks guys hanging out with a legend in the football world.
Yeah.
There's him.
Well, he's tall. He's like 6'4", 6'5",
Wow.
so he definitely fills up a hockey net more than he does a
Stands tall, eh?
soccer.
Oh, stands tall.
He robs Max Domi there. Okay, that's
Yeah.
fun. Jay, I didn't realize Jay posted that.
Yeah, yeah.
Our guy.
Jay Zawoski. Now, to be fair, Max Domi, I believe, is using his opposite hand, so maybe he's not.
Still.
Yeah. But no,
Still.
he was here for like 4 days. He might still be here. I don't even know. He might be there tonight.
It's pretty cool.
I have to admit, I have never heard of that guy before 5 minutes ago.
Well, that's on you.
I guess so.
Not on Peter Cech. He is a legend. He actually played for Arsenal for a little bit, but I was never necessarily a fan because he's a Chelsea guy. His claim to fame is, I mean, he was awesome, but possibly you might know him because he always wore the padded helmet for the back half of his career because there was a really horrific tackle by a guy from Reading Football Club that It's kind of a scary
He's the Stan
concussion
Mikita
thing.
of EPL.
I'm not that old. Luke, do you know what he's
The
talking
padded
about?
helmet. Who was
Stan Mikita was the first to wear a helmet.
Yeah, but who was the guy for the Bills that always had the
Don
giant
Beebe.
helmet?
Don
giant
Beebe.
helmet on returns. No, he was a
Yeah.
special teams guy I'm thinking of.
Was it not Don
Tasker.
Beebe?
Tasker.
Oh, Steve Tasker.
Steve
Tasker wore the giant helmet, I think.
Okay.
And I went out of order. I'm sorry, Lawrence. We have to go back to football.
it's fine.
Back to Soldier Field. The city of Chicago released this video this week. Everyone started talking about it on Monday and Tuesday, but they released it on Sunday and it kind of didn't pick up steam. This is what their proposed renovation to Soldier Field would look like for $2.2 billion to keep the Bears downtown where they are right now. This video, a lot of people were just saying it's too little too late.
Chicago
really.
is
Yeah, and also
our most
you got Bill
storied
Curtis,
civic
which I
assets,
appreciate.
into
doing
the very
narrating.
definition of the next generation
But,
of
like-
sports and entertainment.
I mean,
they
it
do it.
looks awesome, but
They
the
got Bill-
How did we
location.
get there?
It's
Is that
fun.
Bill
By
Curtis? They got to
reimagining
voice it over?
Soldier
Yes.
Field
Yeah.
in a
Bill
way that
Curtis.
Okay, what a
addresses
waste of
all
Bill
the
Curtis this
emerging
is.
trends
No,
This
you-
is
I
a
need
joke.
more Bill
Physical
Curtis in my
demand.
life.
Waste of
me
Bill
all-
Curtis.
give me all the Bill
Not a
Curtis.
waste of
Welcome
however
to
much
Soldier
money it
Field.
took to pay
This
Bill
is
Curtis. to do
taxpayers.
this.
We're paying for this garbage just to make
The
it look like they're
Veterans
still trying to do
Memorial
it.
is a monument
Do the
to
Bears
those who
own this
served our
stadium?
nation.
No.
No,
celebrated.
that's the
Then,
problem. Yeah.
then this is a waste
Bridging
of
our
time.
past to
Is
our
there
future
parking?
and paying
No. It's a waste of time. It's over. It's done. They're
I agree.
moving to
We would need
Arlington Heights.
parking.
This whole thing, I would love to know what this cost and how
To
it's
make the video.
impacting us.
It has 2 million views. People are all
That's up
like,
to
It's a
4.3.
Pretty good
total
engagement.
waste of money.
Good engagement.
It says 4.3 million on the screen.
oh, I'm sorry.
It's a total
I apologize.
waste
The
of
video
money.
has 4.3 billion views. The
You know what?
post-
If you're going to put this, you might as well put stormtroopers and Yoda on the top of the stadium too, because that's just as likely.
I mean, guys, look how cool that would have been, though.
It's going to look as cool when they build it in Arlington
The
Heights.
same stadium's going to look even better in Arlington Heights, and you'll have better traffic, and they'll own the stadium.
Yeah,
I feel like this whole thing comes down to how easy is it going to be to tailgate outside of the stadium, which is like
But this
not
is my-
easy
this is my
in
thing.
Chicago, easy in Arlington Heights,
When I
which is
lived-
why I'm for Arlington Heights.
When I lived in Columbus, the Columbus Crew Stadium was like in a suburb farther away. Now it's downtown. It's beautiful. How do you appeal to fans that don't want to drive to the stadium and want to drink and not have to drive home
You know how many?
Uber.
when it's in Arlington Heights?
Well, let me put it this way. You know where the Dallas Cowboys play?
Yeah.
It's not in downtown Dallas.
In
Nobody
Arlington.
cares. Nobody cares.
And obviously both New York teams play in New Jersey. The 49ers play in Santa Clara, which is nowhere near the
I
city.
would say we should not strive to be like Dallas, though.
yeah.
No, would I like the stadium to be downtown and
that.
done
I mean-
correctly? Yes, but they missed the boat on
Where's
it. And
SoFi? Englewood? I don't think that's like
if this were the stadium they
necessarily
built
right
instead
downtown.
of the spaceship at Soldier Field when they redid it the first time,
Yeah.
then maybe you'd stand back and say, you know what, Bears, deal with not owning your own stadium. It's all about owning the stadium.
Do you guys also remember when the Texas Rangers put out their plans of their new ballpark and it looked totally awesome? And then they actually built the thing and unveiled it and just looked like some crappy salt shed?
Yeah.
This is what would happen here. It would not look that cool
No.
when Soldier Field already is two structures on top of each other, and now you'd be adding a third on. So yeah, this looks great on a CAD drawing, but
Oh,
My guess
CAD
is
drawing.
Kevin
I
Warren
took
looked
that
at this
class.
video and laughed.
You think?
He laughed because he
Kevin
was
Warren said,
hired.
"Nah."
He was hired to build the new stadium
Yeah.
in Arlington Heights because he built the one that was in Minnesota, which is
by the
great.
way, what do you think about Kevin Warren not starting until April?
That seems like a long time. Does he have to kind of wrap up things
Get through
with Big
basketball?
Ten?
Get
through
yeah,
March
I feel like
Madness?
they're putting him through March, and then he'll.
We got a stadium
well,
to build,
so-
man.
It's 2 weeks notice.
We got a
Gotta put
stadium.
in his, like
That's
every
3
other
months
job.
away.
I bet he's still
I mean,
involved in
He's got
discussions.
to offload his
I do-
workload.
I do feel like he will be involved in things
Yeah.
before April.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it's tough. It's a huge off season between now and April. There's a lot of things that need to happen.
Well, he's not doing any of the talent evaluation, which is good.
No, but
But the GM will now report to him
Would
instead
you
of
not
to
want him to
George.
do talent evaluation?
No, he's a business guy.
He's a
a basketball player. He's not a
He's
football
been
guy.
in the NFL. That's great. I think it's a really good hire, especially because of the stadium thing. But there's also the fact that he's an outsider, which I love. You're not just promoting somebody from the inside. Guys, how much success did we have with Ted Phillips as the president? That's all I want to know.
so much.
What's my tweet that went
Not much.
viral? Ted Phillips was Bears president for 5 different presidential administrations, and he produced 3 playoff victories.
And a stadium we can't get out of fast enough.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad.
Sorry, guys.
Well,
the
that's-
McCaskies love him. That's a free stadium. that they're
Well,
playing
that's
in.
the most important. That has been the most important person or people for him to make happy. So good for him.
That's all I've got from Scroll Stoppers today.
All right, let's play the
guys.
video then. There you go. We're done with it.
Can you tell us about Shady Rays?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Kevin. I was kind of jamming out and I almost forgot about Shady Rays because Shady Rays, guys, I've already worn them. We haven't seen the sun very many days yet, but I've worn them driving. It's really great. They never understood why sunglasses were so expensive, so they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall, this spring, this summer, whatever, because our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. They are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. The best part about them, they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear, lost and broken replacement. So if you lose them, you sit on them in the car, you break them on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked, dropped in the lake, off a cliff, wherever you lose them.
In a
They will
volcano.
replace them in a volcano.
In a #1 draft pick celebration.
This could happen. More likely than the volcano.
Brick juice.
I don't know. Have
Even
you
with-
seen? Wait, have you seen the
Brick
volcano?
juice.
That Netflix documentary that's out.
No.
That's recommended.
Ooh, put that on our list. Even with that strong of a protection program, they still managed to make quality that I can tell you when I held them, I knew that they were just as good as any expensive pair that I've ever had. Shady Rays customers seem to agree. There's over 200,000 5-star reviews on their website. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America, with every order placed and have donated over 20 million meals to date. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It's
lot of meals.
impressive.
They stand behind their product and told us at CHGO that if anyone has a problem, they throw profit out the window and will do what it takes to get it right. They have free returns and free exchanges. You either love Shady Rays or they'll pay to have them shipped back. That's it. So, and our listeners today, Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. If you use code CHGO, you get 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54 only at shadyrays.com, where you could find all their newest and best shades.
Yep.
Brick juice.
Brick juice. I love my Shady Rays. I can't wait to wear them more.
I wear them. I'm wearing them while driving.
Yeah. It's smart.
The NFL playoff picture is locked in, and my go-to place for the wild card round action and all the other action this month and in February is DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And to kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get a no-sweat bet each day of the wild card round this weekend. So if you do not have the DraftKings Sportsbook app yet, this is the weekend to do it, because $5, you get $200 and all these no-sweat bets. Like, this is the time to sign up. Again, place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you will get a free bet back up to $10. Action's so good, why bet the NFL playoffs anywhere else? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code CHGO. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Well, guess what? We have a very short amount of time here to get through our next segment because the
do
White
this.
Sox are
We can
coming
do
up.
this.
Yeah, we can do this
What
quickly.
time is White Sox at?
4 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can do this quickly.
Yeah, we
This
got
isn't
this.
gonna-
All right.
I don't have to give
8-minute
a
segment.
We
Let's
don't have to explain
go.
why.
It's
We don't have
very
to explain
easy.
why.
No, it's very easy. We got
Which
this.
NFL playoff teams am I rooting for? Red is I am absolutely not rooting for them and hope they fall into the sea. Yellow, pretty ambivalent. Green is I would like to see that team win the Super Bowl. It'd be a great story. Luke, you are on the clock.
Family Feud speed round. These are the teams I'm rooting for. In green, Bills, Jags, and Bengals. Why? The Bills were a great story. I'd
I
like
don't know
to
if
see
you have to
them
go
do
this fast.
He's going that fast. That's fine. Bills, Jags, and Bengals.
speed round. You got to go quickly. You got to give the answer fast. And if you guys give the same answer, it gets
Why-
dinged and you can't use it.
You're not like giving me any opening to give you shit.
Well,
the Jaguars.
Okay, Bills, Jags, and Bengals. Why the Jags? My Jags answer is this, because they could be the Bears next year. So it gives you extra hope to go worst to first. It's a team that looked like absolute garbage last year with a quarterback that you weren't sure about, and now you could see the Bears taking a similar path. They've got the draft picks.
Okay.
All of those reasons. So that's the reason I'd like to see the Jags do well. And great story with their head coach turning it around. Yellow.
It would be nice to shove it to Urban Meyer.
Yes, that too. Yeah. Yellow. I got a lot of teams in the yellow. These are just teams that, like, if they do well, whatever. If they don't, that's okay too. Seahawks, 49ers, Dolphins, Giants, Ravens, Cowboys, Chargers, Chiefs. None of them make me super excited. That doesn't mean I won't watch the game. I'll be rooting for great games when these teams play. But, like, if the 49ers go all the way to the Super Bowl, am I going to be excited? No, I'd be surprised. But same thing with the Ravens, Cowboys, any of them. Now, my red teams are almost, I don't know. I don't want to say I hate these teams, but, like, the Vikings are a red team. I don't want anybody in our division going to the Super Bowl.
Nope.
Okay? I
Keep them
dislike
where
the
they
Vikings
belong.
not as much as I dislike the Packers, only because their quarterbacks haven't been as good. But generally, I dislike the Vikings quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole, I don't want to hear that more than once or twice this offseason.
Skull Vikings.
The Bucks, I'm just done with the Brady thing. Okay? I don't need them to go to the Super Bowl again. I don't need to have everybody recap how he got divorced. All of it. It's time for that to go away. Greatest quarterback of all time, probably, but I don't need to see that anymore. And the Eagles are a team, the reason I don't want to see them go all the way and win the Super Bowl would be that I'm afraid the Eagles could be a bit of a dynasty coming up in the NFC. We've got the Chiefs, and the Bills have given them a good run, but when you look at what the Eagles have done and how they've turned it around, they could go all the way and win the Super Bowl this year and have the number 10 pick. The Eagles are a franchise that scare me moving forward. I don't necessarily like that sometime, if the Bears get good, their big rival moving forward could be the Eagles if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
Whew.
Wow, that was good.
Speed round.
Good. That was good.
Pretty quick,
Very
huh?
good. Very good,
Who's
Luke.
next?
I agree
Anyone?
with some of those.
Okay.
Who's next?
All
Casey's
right, it's
up?
my turn.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Faster.
Green
My
teams.
teams that I think that I would root for are the Chiefs, the Bills, obviously. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl.
I'd be good
The
with that.
Dolphins and the Bengals.
Okay.
Those are
Explain
my-
why
those
the
A lot of AFC
why
teams
the
there, huh?
Dolphins.
I feel bad for the year that Tua had, and I just feel like that would be cool to see them win. Also, I really miss their old logo, what the Dolphin was wearing, the helmet.
Yeah.
I feel like they should bring that
I mean,
back.
yeah, Dolphins wearing helmets. That's
Yeah, like
definitely
that
worth
was just
something.
Yeah.
badass. I don't really have a lot of good reasons for that one.
Ray Finkel.
Wouldn't you feel bad for Tua if they actually win a bunch of games and he's not playing in
yeah,
them?
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, they're starting a guy named Skylar Thompson. I think he went to K-State or maybe.
Yeah, they're not going to
I
win.
know
don't.
where
I don't
he
think.
went to,
Yeah, you're not going to be rooting for the Dolphins long case.
Well,
I
yeah,
know,
because they're
I know,
playing the
but
Bills.
This
So
is
you're rooting
just
for
in my
both teams.
imagination.
Bills, Chiefs, I'm rooting Bills.
Right. Agreed. And then for my yellow, I have Chargers, Jaguars, Seahawks, Giants, and 49ers. I'm very about all these teams. I
49ers.
don't really care too much for the Chargers. Seahawks, I'm over it. 49ers, definitely just whatever. So those are my yellow
The
teams.
Seahawks and Chargers are the two most meh teams, I think, for most
Yeah.
fans, especially the Seahawks. Who's rooting for the Seahawks?
Not anymore.
Geno Smith is a good
Marshawn
story.
Lynch.
He is a good story, but I'm not excited to watch them playing again. If the
I like-
Seahawks are playing a game, I can usually
I
turn
like
it
Pete
off.
Carroll too.
Yeah, I like their head coach.
Oh, don't like him at
I
all.
do like
You
their head
don't?
coach.
Yeah,
Cheater.
A lot of people
Cheater.
do not like the Pete Carroll
No.
experience, but
Tired.
That one GIF of him where he's like wearing the top hat
Yeah.
and that's like one of the better
yeah,
GIFs in
the monocle
sports
situation.
internet history. Yeah.
Who's your red?
Here are my teams definitely in the red. Ravens, because I have this allegiance to the Browns for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder why.
Cowboys, because I'm over it. America's team, over it. Trash. Buccaneers, because I'm also tired of the
Over
Tom
it.
Brady madness. Just don't care. I hate the whole, he won again. He does it again. He's 50 years old, however old he is. Vikings, because of the Bears, obviously. And the Eagles.
And the Giants. Unless
No,
you,
Giants are in the yellow.
Oh, they were in the yellow?
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Just because meh.
Okay.
Is that
There
fast
you go.
enough?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Does that mean I have to go?
Go for
You're
it.
up.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Fast.
Well.
Faster, please.
Okay. Let me think about this for the first time.
Faster.
Let's go alphabetically, starting with the number, the 49ers. We're going to put the 49ers in the middle. Bengals. Okay, there's my team to win it all. Joe Burrow, he's the best. I'm sorry.
Swag.
Did you hear what he said
got a lot
on
of swag.
Sunday?
No, what do you say?
They asked him about their Super Bowl window, their championship window, and he said, my whole career. Yes. 100% yes. There we go. Bills. I'm okay with the Bills winning. DeMar Hamlin.
For DeMar.
But honestly, it's more about him. I mean, like, I love Josh Allen. I remember interviewing him when he was at Wyoming. And I don't know. He's a good dude. Buccaneers. Let's get them out of here. They suck. I'm sick of Brady as well. Chargers. All for Dan Fouts, Eric Coryell, Kellen Winslow. I've always been a Chargers fan. We'll put them in the green section. Chiefs. I'm sorry. Mahomes up here in the green. Matt Nagy. Sorry, Chiefs. You're going down to the yellow.
There were a lot of Nagy shots. Yeah.
Wow.
Cowboys,
I forgot about that
you
for a
suck,
second.
and you shouldn't even be on the red. You should just be in your own black category, but whatever. We'll put you in the red. Dolphins, whatever. I mean, they're not going to be around long. We'll just put them in the yellow because who cares? Eagles, could you imagine if they won with Skylar Thompson in Buffalo? That'd be the most insane thing ever. Eagles,
The Eagles won like the last 5 years. I'm over it.
did they? What are we talking
Wasn't
about?
it like 2018?
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
I'm over it.
I'm going to put him in yellow
If you
because
win the last
I like
5 years,
Jalen
you're out.
Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts. I'm okay with Jalen Hurts. Giants. Nope. Sorry. My former allegiance to a team in the NFC East means I cannot root for the Giants. I love you, Michael Kolodny, old buddy of mine, but no, we hate the Giants. Jaguars. I do like Trev. We'll put him in the yellow. Ravens. Sorry. I'm just never liked the Ravens. They left.
Bad logo.
Yeah, a terrible logo. Really hard to put on graphics as well.
Which one was bad?
The Ravens.
Ravens logo.
It's just too long.
I don't hate it.
It's too
I don't
horizontal.
like that, but I don't hate the logo.
It's too horizontal. Speaking of horizontal logos, the Seabags.
The horizontal, because the Seahawks have a great logo.
It does look good on the old Steve Largent helmet. We'll put him in the yellow for that, for Steve Largent. Shout out to Kurt Warner as well. Tecmo Bowl, one of my favorite teams. And the Vikings are the last team. And woo! Goodbye, you're going in the red.
To the red.
All right, well
Good
done,
work.
Lawrence.
Good work.
Kev, you're up.
All right, which NFL playoff teams am I rooting for? Let's start it off in the green, which means I'd be fine with them winning. I'm going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys. Why? I have a
stop it.
14-1 ticket on them. I'm going to win money.
I'm putting
I
it
also
down
think
in
it'd be
the
kind of
bottom corner.
fun.
Why'd
Be
you
a
do
lot
that?
of hype. Whatever.
Why'd you do that?
Are
I
we out
win
of time?
money.
Is the
Yeah, I
podcast
think
out of
it's
time?
over.
I think
I
we're
think
out
we're
of
out of
time.
time.
That's
Roll
it.
the
It's a wrap.
credits.
Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is awesome. Let him add to the total. The Seattle Seahawks, Geno Smith winning would be an unbelievable story.
That'd be cool.
The Miami Dolphins, they're kind of like the Chicago Bears light. They have not been good in 40 years, so it'd be good for their fans. They're
Let's
not doing
go.
it with Skylar
Kev's
Thompson.
with me in the green.
Buffalo Bills, they are my Tecmo Bowl team, and I would love
that's
to
terrible.
see them win.
You weren't allowed to be the Bills on Tecmo Bowl because they were too good.
Well,
That's ridiculous. I can't believe you picked the Bills. You would.
sometimes
pick the
I would
Bills.
be the Houston Oilers. I can't
That's
pick
a-
the Houston Oilers.
That's a team.
Sad.
That's the
Yellow.
team.
Eagles,
Eagles.
I don't really care. They've already won,
Exactly,
but I don't
yeah,
hate them.
Eagles
I
from
like
Eagles.
Philadelphia fans. We've talked about that. 49ers, I mean, I guess they've been knocking at the door long enough, but it would
Brock
not
Purdy.
move
I'm sorry.
me.
What? I don't understand how this team can win with Brock Purdy. Get him out of
Yeah.
here. Iowa State. Get out of my face.
Cincinnati Bengals, they had their chance last year. I was excited about them last year, not this year.
Okay.
And the Baltimore Ravens, I admire them as a organization, but I don't care if they win or not. Red, the Los Angeles Chargers. We already had a Los Angeles team win last year. Nobody cared. This Los Angeles team has even less fans. Do not let Justin and the Chargers win. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we've been over that.
They suck.
Jacksonville Jaguars, I did enjoy that period of time where we were really rubbing in their face for drafting Justin Lawrence over Justin Fields.
Trevor Lawrence.
He's
Got great hair, though.
Lawrence.
He had a beautiful
Who's
hair.
Justin?
Mr. Lawrence.
His brother Lauren.
I'm just going so fast. Minnesota Vikings, we know why. Absolutely not. We do not need Kirk Cousins hoisting the
Yeah,
Lombardi.
he sucks.
And the New York Giants.
New York
again,
football Giants. Goodbye.
I don't want them to have nice things.
You lose.
They got Brian Daboll.
You
We
get
didn't.
nothing. You're
Yeah.
You lose.
Yes.
My Super Bowl
I
pick
said
is the
good day.
Kansas City Chiefs over the San Francisco 49ers, which is a rematch of the Super Bowl
Oh yeah, just a couple years ago.
prior to the pandemic. I hope it doesn't spark off another
Oh
one.
gosh. Well,
I got
we're kinda
Eagles
still
over
in the other
Bengals.
one.
I
Eagles
have
over
Bills
Bengals.
over 49ers.
I have Bengals over whoever gets out of the NFC because I don't care.
Well done, everyone.
Hey, we did it.
Thanks for joining the Chicago Sports Podcast. We'll be here next Thursday at 3 p.m. Apparently, we'll get things done a little sooner.
Maybe
So the Sox
or they
guys
could just
can
wait.
get on.
It's January. They can wait. Nothing's
Remember
happening.
to sign up for the DraftKings Sportsbook app using code CHGO for all your playoff action this week. Help us out, help DraftKings out, help you out, hopefully. We'll see you next week.
Quick shout out though for DraftKings, the Colorado Avalanche are facing the Blackhawks tonight. Let's go wire to wire, Avs. I really need the Blackhawks to not score first. That's what I'm just going to say.
Let's do it.
Thanks
All
and
right.
For the
goodbye.
tank. For
See
the
everybody.
tank.